One
Are
of the
they
songs. It's
an
good.
hour long?
Where do you want to go
How long do they
next?
spend on them?
If you'd like
Are
to
they
see
basically like an
Liyue's
entire
tourist
album?
spots, I have
Yeah.
a few references.
But they're like
How often do they make
15.
them? Because when you say mixtape, it sounds like it's something that's like sort of chucked together.
Well, it's like he releases it for free because it's like heavily sampled. It's like
Oh,
he
so
can't get like
there's like
rights to it,
copyright
you know?
issues because of it. So yeah.
Yeah, so he just released, and so like he works on them quite a lot. But like they're
Are they almost like mashups?
yeah, so
Okay.
it's like heavy. It's like you can kind of. They're not mixtapes where it's like just some people do ones where it's just they just merge songs together, right? They just kind of
Yeah.
pick their favorite. But he like
but like
makes new.
some of my favorite I don't know music moments are actually from mashups. Like just putting songs together in a way where they build upon each other, but they're already so fucking good. It's just so fucking.
That's what this is. That's why I like it so much because it's like that's what they are. Like, so he released one 3 weeks ago.
What was his name? Like Madian? I think he made like a bunch of mashups back in there, and just remember listening the fuck out of that shit.
Like, Breakbot does a lot. He does a lot of mashup, like mixtapes, and then Flaming Oasis seems to do one every like 6 months.
Wow.
But he like tours and does a lot of stuff. So like I think he does this like for fun and just
Wait,
experiment.
Flaminiosis is a single person. Do you mean Breakbot?
Flaming Oasis is one guy. Breakbot is one guy.
Dude, I swear to God, I can't ever really remember his name. I keep wanting to say Flaminiosis. Because it sounds so close to filet mignon.
Like Flamingo, S-I-S.
Yeah. Flamingosis.
Yeah, but it's a frisbee move in frisbee.
That's the gayest shit that has ever come out of your mouth.
Well, his dad was a professional frisbee player, so that's why he got the
You
name.
can go pro on frisbee?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, like, it was like...
Can I?
Because they do like ultimate frisbee, but I think his dad was more of like doing the demonstration. Like it's like acrobatics and crazy skills and like trick shots.
Acrobatic frisbee?
Well, like Flaming Oasis, it's actually a move with frisbee where it's like you spin it in the air and like you kind of put your leg, you put your arm behind you through your legs and then catch it through your legs.
This is something really funny about your dad being a professional frisbee player, first of all. A player? I don't even know how to phrase it. And also just naming your band after your dad.
Like his dad invented the move.
What the fuck? I mean, I'm not sure that's even impressive. Like, how much competition is there to come up with other moves? Like, it sounds pretty niche.
The name comes from a freestyle frisbee move that his father invented. Ta-da.
Style frisbee.
I'm like
so
super
much
good
about
at
this confusing.
That's why I like frisbee.
You're super good at frisbee.
Like, I play frisbee with my friends a lot. Like, I can throw, like, you know those ring frisbees you get, like the kind of crazy ones. They can go for miles and miles. So me and my friends would literally. So you know, like, remember, like Teesside.
Never heard of it.
And you know, like, sure. So, like, you know the main building where all the computer labs were.
Yeah.
Okay, so from that entrance.
Don't talk too hard.
From like that entrance to like the entrance of the library.
Wait, what was it starting? The lab?
Yeah.
The library, okay. Okay.
Like, you can throw it that distance, probably further. And like, straight to people. Like, so me and my friends would just go, let's go to the park. And then we just go.
This nerdy shit.
I'd just go to one end and he'd go to the other end. And we just throw it like across the field.
Hey, listen, man. We all have hobbies. I'm not gonna judge.
It's gangster. I've had many compliments about it.
Yeah, I'm sure the ladies love it.
That's who's complimented me about it.
Hmm?
That's where I've got the compliments from, the ladies.
I've had a hard time imagining the context.
Because I'm so good at it, they're like, "Oh, I've never seen you this confident."
It's like I just really okay. Well, I
They're like,
like
"You seem
I just imagine you wearing like the fucking dorky shit, like short shorts and like
No.
tennis socks and like
don't wear anything
sweatbands. No. How can you do anything frisbee related if you don't dress like a fucking frisbee player? That's an insult to the sport. Is it even a sport? Like I don't even.
There's like you can play games with it, but it's like not really.
I like the Freudian slip where you said it's gay. It's like it's gay. There's a game. No, fine.
So like, yeah. But then he does like in a lot of his music videos, Flaming Ice, it's like there's like frisbees everywhere, and like his like album covers and all this kind of stuff.
And you watch those?
Yeah, they're like good because a lot of them are animated, so it's like
Are they?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Does
And
he
there's
have to
one-
pay for those?
Yep.
I wonder what the return on investment is on music videos. Like, sometimes the music videos are so fucking good, the animation, like, is the main reason you actually show up to the video, not the music.
Like you
But
can look at this.
But obviously there has to be synergy. And other
So you-
corporate terms.
So you've got like
I'm not clicking that. Isaac, I'm
so the
streaming.
start of
Don't be
this
rude.
song. It's like an audio clip from his dad talking about how much he loves frisbee.
Man, I feel bad for shitting on people's passion.
Because you're not very good at frisbee, that's why.
Oh, okay. I mean, to be fair, like I have a hard time giving a shit about most sports.
That's the thing. I don't even say it's a sport.
Honestly-
That's just throw shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's basically the type of sports that I like, where you can just like half-ass do something. It's the same reason I like pool. What the fuck happened to my mouth there? Pool.
But that is what I see frisbee as. It's just like
Something to do with your
let's
friends.
throw it around. Yeah, let's see how far we can throw it. Like, it's not. I don't give a fuck about winning a game of frisbee. Or something.
Winning a game, like it has to be frisbee
ultimate
golf
frisbee.
at that point, isn't it? Like it
It's
can't,
ultimate
like-
frisbee. So I used to in London. They used to have they have like ultimate frisbee like
Unsolicited.
matches.
And
And
all-
games.
Okay, what about normal frisbee?
That's just passing
What
it
about
to each-
first frisbee? Why did we go all the way to ultimates? How many iterations are there?
frisbee and ultimate frisbee? I mean, it's like because it's so kind of like lame and not
But
interesting.
ultimate
That's
means
such a
like
good name.
final. It means like the last. Yeah.
That's like
And
pump
exactly.
up,
That's why it's so fun. It's like ultimate frisbee. It's like what other sport needs to throw ultimate in there in order to get interest?
Yeah.
There should be ultimate
it's like-
soccer.
You say football, but then it's like the football itself is called a football, but then the game is also called football.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like,
Astute observation. It's like nobody else would have noticed that. This is why you're in the big bucks.
but then like frisbee, it's just.
Frisbee is just
I think
say what you mean.
I feel like frisbee is almost.
Yes.
I don't know if I like. It's not because the like say football like the ball stays on like follows the ground, right? And like frisbee because you just kind of launch it in the air, you just go miles and hit people in the head and smash windows and like vanish. It's like it doesn't really suit crowds. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think people should be kicking a soccer ball around either, just because of how easy it is to lose control. I don't really know what you
Not
mean.
compared to like a frisbee, you can just whoops and then it like.
Stabilize.
Yeah, but the collateral is also way smaller.
But then you can also get hit in the eye and it's like,
Like-
thin. It's like it's small.
I don't really see that happening. I have seen people absolutely eat shit getting hit by a stray soccer ball, though.
Yeah, but then if you get like a frisbee, like because it's like a thin line, it's like you could get it in your eye and then it would just like destroy your eye. Right? But like a football surface area, like it's not likely to damage, like make you go blind. You know what I mean? To the same degree of like a frisbee. Like multiple times I've played frisbee with people that are shit and like hit them in the face and like they're just like I can't do this. And like I was playing with frisbee with someone I used to live with, and like at the end of it their like arm was bruised because every time they didn't catch it. Like me just throwing it normally, it would like bruise her. It was a woman, but still like.
Sounds like a her problem.
And I was like, oh, I've never seen that before ever. It wasn't like I was trying to bruise her or like throw it hard. It wasn't even hard. It was just.
Are you sure she didn't have like?
No.
I was about to say multiple sclerosis. What the fuck am I trying to say? Like brittle bone syndrome is like what I was trying to get at, but apparently we're going with MS. I'm obviously a doctor. I can't imagine like getting bruised from a frisbee.
It's like the ring ones. They go really fast and they're quite like solid. Like I throw them fast. Like I can throw them really fast and like you can hurt people.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
And then because I throw them so accurately, it's like people. It's like you have to. I like you have to catch it or you'll get hit, or like you have to move out the way.
It's like you're trying to convince me to buy a fucking airplane ticket just to witness the fitness.
That's fine.
You're really giving me the hard sell.
I'm used to playing with people that are good as me.
But what if I'm a natural talent?
Well, you might be. And when I was at that school, I like taught the little kids how to like throw frisbees properly.
You did.
Yeah, because there's like an easy technique to like a way to stand and like put your arm and level it and stuff, and then like they'd all like try it and they'd all just like because I basically set up a thing with like cones, and then like throw the frisbee, try and get it on the cones, right? Because it's got a ring in the middle. So it's like they're all just like they try to throw it and it's just going everywhere, and then I show them how to do it properly, and they're all like getting it on the ring, getting it on the cones. It's pretty fun.
How are they also talented, Isaac?
Great teacher.
No, but for real.
The best teacher.
The sick nasty ass teacher. Oh, I can't do this. My head's not in the place if I'm going to.
Can't do that.
Solidify.
I cannot do it, Captain.
Grow, grow, grow! By royal decree!
In a desert.
The desert of my life. The desert of the soul. It's really dry. Did you know that deserts don't have much water?
Kind of laggy.
Me?
Stream. It like jazz. Like every
That
second
was
it's like pause. Pause. Pause.
Yeah, I can see that. It's amazing. It's great. Why would you do that, Isaac? Am I taking resources on there? Is it just the upload speed?
And then your mic is a bit crackly.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the GPU then. Fucking
Yeah.
anti-malware executable deciding to go off now. Stop trying to keep me safe and let me stream. It's weird, but decides to take resources sometimes. Oh shit! Apparently, I should. Well, oops, gonna have to restart that challenge. I just quit in the middle of the challenge because you distracted me, bastard. You know exactly what you were doing.
Tee. I'm supposed to go on a date tonight, but the person's not replying.
A date one?
Tomorrow. Well, it takes them longer to reply anyway, so...
What are you saying? It takes longer?
It takes them long to reply anyway.
Yeah, because their time is so much more important, right? Is that not the implication?
Don't let any of it roll away now.
Yeah, some people just busy. Well, like I've never like it's a first date, so I've not actually met before. So it's like you don't want to like get too friendly with each other before you've actually met.
I guess.
Because you could be like, oh, you're not as
But don't you have to
good-looking.
pass a vibe check?
Yeah, we have. So that's what we've talked. But it's like then
But
there's
yeah,
like there's
no, like seeing each other face to face can really help understand your dynamic, and that actually translates back into text. Like, I've been in. How do I put this? Like, I recently decided to try to go to a Discord channel, and that I haven't been a part of before. I was like, it's so fucking obvious who knows who, because you can see that there's like an immediate dynamic, and like the replies ramp up exponentially and shit,
yeah.
and they talk completely differently to each other. It's sort of funny.
But then
I,
there's
I
also
wonder. I don't think most people like actually think about how they actually sort of type the way they talk. Like I remember that being a thing when what the fuck is it like when you're a teenager? What is that level of school called? I keep fucking forgetting.
high school, middle school, recess.
Is it high
middle
school? I was like in England. In England, it's called something else. Isn't
Sixth form.
it? Sure. And as you remember, I'm known for being fucking loud because I laugh so fucking loud. And one thing that kept fucking happening, like when we were talking, they got me riled up, and I just started like writing in all caps. It's just like, writing.
Your microphone's having a fucking mental breakdown.
Okay, how much of that did you catch?
Nothing, like none of it. It was like your mic was falling down the stairs.
Cool.
It's like,
Yeah, back at high school, I basically
lost
ended
it
up I'm still cutting out. Is any of this fucking?
You said something about all caps.
Yeah, I basically write the same way I talk. So like people who get me riled up in on MSN or other fucking chat room things, and then I would just reply in fucking all caps,
Yeah.
just like I would in real life. It's like,
I'm saying it's like
it translates perfectly.
it's like anything I type on Discord. It's like I'm never serious. So if I just say like "fuck you" or like, it's like I never mean it. I'm always just sort of whatever. So I'm never like. But if someone looked at like different people's conversations, it's like
It's like, man, you
like-
really hate them, huh?
it's like are these people flirting or are they like passive aggressively hate each other?
Yeah, it's really awkward how you won't stop flirting with me. I think you need to stop.
Sort it out. But then also there's the
Like,
with
what
this
will your
person,
parents think?
this person was supposed to meet tomorrow. It's like there's the other issue where none of their photos on their dating profile have a shot of their teeth.
And you're just like, uh-oh.
Well, it's not.
You're assuming the worst.
It's like you kind of, you know, if I get there and her teeth are fucked, it's like,
How do I tell her? What? What
just,
is,
you know.
why is that the
teeth.
worst possible situation?
Well, it's not. It's just because it's like it's just something I always think about and notice. It's like I need to see what their teeth look like.
Like you're buying a horse.
No, but I've met people and like their teeth are like fucking like yikes, and you can't like.
Okay, well, put your mouth on theirs and take a bite. Readjust it.
It's just
Fix it for them.
because I have such like perfect teeth.
Do you?
So, yeah, well, like
What's that
every
like?
like my dentist, like every dentist I go to, and, like, especially the one I have now, they're like, you have the best teeth. You have like amazing. Perfect.
You have the best. That sounds like a fucking Trump quote. Yeah, I have the best teeth.
But, like, he's every time, and he's just like, you have the perfect teeth.
You understand why I have a hard time believing you, right?
Why? Because I'm British.
Well, that is that is a pretty good reason. You gotta admit,
You've seen my teeth there.
it's not something
Certainly
I've
worth the extra
like
mile.
exactly focused on though. Like, what do you?
It's like they're nicely aligned and like healthy and no broken teeth or gaps or anything. So it's like
Isaac, you have British genes. Who are you trying to fool?
I remember I'm like Viking. Remember,
I am like Viking.
tall and
That's just such a good line.
I'm
I
blonde
am
hair,
like
blue eyed.
Viking.
Blonde hair, blue eyed.
Well, Hitler would
Viking.
be proud, but
Daddy Hitler.
Hitler died for your sins, Isaac. The sins of being too good looking.
Daddy Hitler. I wonder if there's any photos of him without the moustache.
What are you gonna look at baby photos of Hitler?
No, just like pictures of him.
Dude, that would be such a weird search item to have in your browser history. Why is this man searching up pictures of baby Hitler? Like, it sounds like you're trying to ready up some propaganda. Or are you expecting to, Oh, dude. You think there's some awkward teenage photos of him, like, covered in acne? Like, getting ready for prom? Do you think he had the mustache when he was getting ready for prom? Like, oh yeah, the ladies love it. Are you there? Is everything cutting out?
I see everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh,
What's up? Why are you cutting out? Could I be worried?
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of Hitler without moustache.
I'm sure that's not fan art you're looking at.
Yeah, a lot of it's like adjusted, like removed. I don't think there's any of him.
I mean, he probably wasn't well known until then, so...
But
It
like,
really
did he
makes sense
have
to
a
be-
moustache for like, because he started a political career, right? So did he have it like from the very beginning?
Like, the story I remember hearing is that he started... Like, he got the mustache because the girlfriend that he had didn't like the feeling of the mustache, but it was like the sizes were the problem, so he just like narrowed it down. That still sounds weird.
I heard he copied Charlie Chaplin because Charlie Chaplin's like likable, so he just did the same.
Are you sure it's not the other way around? Charlie Chaplin's like,
Chaplin
you know, people like me
copied
too much.
Yeah.
Better do something about it by impersonating a ruthless dictator. Still looking at his photos?
Yeah, I've never really like sat and looked at him really.
Interesting.
Never really like sort of like looked at his face really.
Destiny has brought.
And like, because you don't really imagine him as a person, you just think of him as just like big.
A force of nature? What?
Yeah. So the same way you think of like Jesus is in terms of like
Stabilize.
he was not a real person.
Yeah, I definitely group those two together all the time. Did I just say Hitler died for your sins?
Hey,
But then it's like you don't really think of him as like
Solidify.
someone you could be in a room with, like a person that was alive. You just think of him like kind of like
Oh,
this.
aren't you just describing most historical figures?
But then it's,
Technically, no?
I think Hitler's more like he's so,
He's
Kind of
less
like-
approachable.
he's like been so like pop culture and like
I see everything.
he's a butt of jokes and like he's kind of
He's just a meme at this point, but
he's like a concept. He's like the
Oh,
boogeyman.
yeah.
It's like people say, oh, like Hitler's the worst. Like it's not as bad as Hitler, and it's like
at least
kinda-
I'm not Hitler.
yeah. So you like because he's like supposed to be the most evil thing ever to exist. You're like it can't be a person.
I guess, yeah.
Mm.
Do you agree with that?
That's more because you don't really think, you just know he's a bad guy. But like all you know him for is like he's a bad guy. You don't see like, oh, okay, well he did this nice thing. You don't hear about, oh, this and that and
I don't
his
know, I keep
growing.
hearing about how Hitler loved dogs.
Yeah, but everyone loves dogs, so it's
Yeah, exactly.
where it's like you think, well, maybe he just does stuff to be like he's a psychopath that like pretends to love dogs.
How do you feel about humanizing Hitler?
This is order.
No opinion at all. Like, what is happening? Are you here?
Stabilize.
Is my shit cutting out or is your shit cutting out? I'm getting a little lost.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What the fuck is it cutting out?
I don't know.
Like the idea of like humanizing somebody, it's like you're trying to like understand why they do what they do. It's like, oh, this guy robbed a bank and like shot a guy. And you're like, okay, then you hear his story and it's like humanizes him a bit because it's like, oh, since he was a kid, he was like this and that and blah blah blah. And he's like,
Yeah, so how do you feel about humanizing Hitler?
then it's like there's no level of like, there's no degree to which he could have been like so badly treated that it like would make it understandable that you like kill 6 million people. You know what I mean?
Curiosity deserves.
It's like there's
Sure.
no. I
So
don't
then
feel
what's the
like- I don't
problem?
think- No, I'm just saying like it's like the degree to which you can humanize somebody. It's like
Everyone hold hands.
Yeah,
I
so
feel-
are you fine with the attempt?
Odds reveal thyself.
nah, yeah, but the attempt's fine, but it's like it fails.
We'll see about that.
All in love. Try and stop.
There's a lot of games of about Hitler on Steam for some fucking reason. Most of them BDSM related. I actually think it's a mistake not humanizing Hitler. Like, people associate that with sympathizing with him or like actually liking him or like trying to create propaganda for him.
Yeah.
But to me, the problem is people disassociate so much from reality, and it feels like a coping mechanism to the point where
Solidify.
I feel like similar situations are more likely to occur because it's like it feels so unreal. Like, oh, that could never happen again.
I see everything.
As like, God, this feels so hyperbolic to say, but like that's actually the thing that was concerning about Trump was that he had like genuine fascistic tendencies, and it was basically just the safety net of the systems in place that seemed to prevent him from actually taking power by force.
Yeah. Because I think like with Hitler, you could almost like, it's more like you could humanize it to a point where it's like you can see how he got where he did, or like you can understand to a point where it's like he got into power and like, but then it's where it's kind of the extermination aspect. Is it kind of like
Ruins the vibe.
it's like illogical almost because, and also it's like Jordan Peterson said the thing about like, because he studied a lot of Hitler stuff. He said if you were really like in a war, right? So Germany's like losing the war, okay, and
Oh, yeah, I think I remember hearing about this. Like, he wasn't concerned about winning, as the
yeah, but then it was like, say you've got like this whole group of people you're like subjugating, right? He's like, instead of turning them into like slave labor, he's like focus on killing them all. So it's like the logic would be like you have this almost free labor force to exploit, but you choose not to. You choose to kill them all, like like treat them like vermin, and it's like that sort of unhinged approach is like he's lost all kind of logical reasoning. So it's like his decision making isn't, you can't follow it. There's no like he's trying to make Germany better because Germany was this and that in his life from growing up and blah blah blah. It's like because he's like lost logic.
What's ultimately the point there?
Like you can humanize him up to a certain point. Like you can understand how he got to a certain place, but then it's like after a point it becomes like
Pointless.
like it's like you can kind of, it's like you humanize how he say like got to this point, a certain point, but then then his like next decision after that point is like he chooses something that's like beyond the point that you can humanize. It's like he's like losing the war and blah blah blah. Like so if he cared about winning the war in Germany and all this kind of stuff, then he would use the labor force. But he's just like ramp up the executions. And then there was a thing they said about like towards the end of the war, he was like put more resources into killing them, so they lost even faster.
I guess. It's like I don't know the tactical situation of that and how to navigate it. Like, because if you think about the situation, the Jews would qualify as enemies at that point, and if you start ignoring them because you got better things to do, then you have like enemies like within your borders, so you can't really ignore them.
By royal decree,
But if you're going to utilize the how did you phrase it? Like utilize the workforce that you have, then you need people, you need manpower there to make sure that it happens. So like trading one resource for another, technically. So if you just decide to like capture 6 million fucking Jews, you need to have a plan of what to do with them. And maybe extermination is just like, well, this is all we got time for at this point. So like it just doesn't.
Yeah, I guess. But then it's like
because yes, if they could function as a workforce, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. But if you consider them as a possible threat, then just hoping you have enough people there to prevent an uprising, or however you want to phrase it, then
it's like the same number of people you're using to kill them, you could use to get them to do what you want.
Yes and no. Like, you need to have the people there all the goddamn time if you're going to consistently make them work, don't you?
Yeah, but that's what you're doing anyway. Like you're like always running the fucking extermination camps, so you always have the labor there.
I mean, if you keep pumping them, like if you keep fucking capturing them and sending them to the camp, and
That's what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, then you're.
Yeah, the whole like pipeline. So it's like.
Christ, it's so fucking.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like it's so like
it was like he was playing fucking Factorio with Jews, optimizing genocide. Jesus Christ!
So it's like that decision to like do that. It's like, why not put effort into trying to like save the war, like win the war? You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, or at least stop moving them to the camps and focus on winning. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a German. I don't know how to military.
Solidify.
But I'm pretty sure Jordan Peterson isn't either. So I'm not sure how much I should
by royal decree,
accept the premise.
God is dead.
And we killed him.
Hell yeah.
Solidify.
So you're all for humanizing Hitler? Is that what I heard?
No. Well, I'll listen to, you know. I'll listen to anyone.
Ah.
Everything is fine.
How far have you gotten through my Kampf?
I would probably read it.
God, I like that people are treating Harry Potter as Mein Kampf now.
I will have
It's just as bad.
And like, it's funny. There's people that like are playing it on Steam because, not on Steam, on stream, because
Yeah.
like they want to be like
Go on.
part of the people that like saying fuck off to like the people that like, oh, you shouldn't play it, because people are telling them not to play it. They're playing it.
Makes
So it's
sense.
like McConnell, like Asmongold's friend.
Yeah.
Like he never streams ever, and he's like
But he streamed this.
he's been streaming Hogwarts because it's like it's like anti like against woke culture. And there was a
Okay.
website where people could go onto a website, type a streamer's name in, and it would tell you or not if they played Hogwarts Legacy to make sure you
You
weren't
don't
following.
support them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus
which is
Christ.
just funny. Like,
I mean, the most fucked up thing is the people who were sabotaging the charity streams. Like, what the fuck? How? It's like, that is not a high horse. That's a fucking giraffe. Get off.
yeah.
How do you even get up there in the first place?
stabilize.
I do like the level of confidence with which people make various statements, though, without ever actually looking it up.
Solidify.
Yeah.
It's like you have like a bunch of people saying that he would or would not get royalties, but none of them would ever like state the source.
Yeah.
And apparently that should be... Is it actually publicly accessible? I wonder if there are laws around that where you have to display your associations with things. Am I talking out my ass? Come on, Isaac, you're a legal expert.
Flicker.
I just assume you're always talking to her.
What? Dare you? Oh no, Isaac, I'm in the passage of ghouls. This place must be very dangerous. Well, if I'm boring you so much, you can pick a different subject. Why am I forced to carry the conversation, huh?
You're a
Experience any interesting lately?
You're a streamer, innit? You can't have dead air.
Exactly. Stop sabotaging.
Um,
What?
I don't talk about nothing.
Destiny
Really.
has brought.
How the fuck are you supposed to go on dates like this?
No, because I care to talk about stuff with them. Just not. It's more like I don't plan dates at like 10 o'clock at night.
Maybe you should. That's good practice. Listen. Right now, you should consider me the date. And you should show
It's like,
interest.
I already know everything about it, so it's like, okay, I can't
You
ask
know
anything else.
nothing about me, Isaac. We've established this.
What's your life plan?
Well, suicide's never really off the table.
Wee. Like,
Gotta have
'cause
an
I
exit
could tell you
strategy.
my plan is like I want to make all this stuff and have my own company and like games and have wife and kids and like do this and that.
Uh-huh.
But then, do you have anything like? Do you have similar like life goals or like?
Oh, that's just okay. Sure, I'll do that. No, I mean, I think I talked about it. Like, I struggle with motivation. Like, there's a bunch of shit where I think, you know, this could be cool to try, but I'd never actually put in the effort and work towards it. So, like,
Be
I just, want,
motivated by anything.
I just want to put myself in an environment where, like, just trying shit is easy. Like, hey, you want to join me in making a movie? Sure, I'll try it. Like, like in that situation, not very likely, is it?
Do you
Or
find?
like, hey, you wanna join me and make a track for my album? Sure, I'll try some fucking music shit. I just want to be around more talented people than me and like pretend to be a part of it.
But that's like kind of. If you can't find the people, you have to bring the people to you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. How the fuck do you do that?
Well, that's the thing. You kind of offer something to them, and then
Well, it seems like there's a very obvious reason why this hasn't happened yet.
Unsolicited.
well,
And all the more valuable for
yeah, you got.
This is where you say, "Oh no, you have plenty to offer, friend."
I see everything. By royal decree.
What do you have though?
Yes.
But it's like who. Well, say for example with me, it's like.
Who would ever believe that?
No, but as in like what? Like. You like? Would you like? Do you offer things as a service or like to friends or like strangers or like?
No.
So it's like for me, it's like when I. It's like when I wanted to lose weight, I got a personal trainer. So like I hired them. And
Red
it's
flags.
like, so it's you're saying, okay, I want to try making music. I want to try doing this and that. It's like, well, go to like a class or like
and
go
all the more valuable for it.
get a tutor or like some kind of one-on-one skills training or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just talked about that. That's effort. Why would I ever?
Okay. So it's easy. Like you could do it right now. You could do it tomorrow. You could do it. You have like no restrictions basically. You could just do it anytime you wanted, but you just don't.
What do you mean? What?
Everyone's
Like, say you wanted to
odds reveal by
be around
Like,
more talented people.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want to develop the talents myself. I just want to be able to join people in their endeavors and like just play around with it and see if it's any fun.
Order guide you.
So I need to. I don't know, get on social media and chill out. It's like, hey, cool album, Kanye. How would you put me on the next one?
Certainly worth the extra mile.
So you just want to like ride other people's success and watch it.
Hell yeah.
But then that's like, so you want to review stuff basically.
No.
And that is what you're doing because you're saying you don't want to do the talent. You don't want to have the talent. You just want to be in the room.
No. I want to be part of the process. I just don't want like any other responsibility really. So like if they just like, oh yeah, I'm making the shit, I'm doing all the work, and then I can just like get on there and add some cowbell to Kanye's song, dude, be Gucci.
You want to be a mixture of like the idea guy and like a groupie.
Yeah, basically. Or like, hey Martin Scorsese, I hear you're pretty good at making movies. How about you add me on the next one? And we
Like an
co-direct.
actor, what you mean? Yeah, well, exactly.
Anything. It's like if I'm ever bored, I can just do anything. Dude, that'd be so fucking good. And then I can have oh, what the fuck is his name? Batman in Dark Knight. What the fuck is it called? I keep thinking Chris. Isn't fucking Chris? What's his name?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. It is Chris. Okay.
Yeah, but then
Like
you can.
he can get mad at me, going, he's like, "Oh, good for you. How was it?" It's like, "It was great. Thanks for having me."
It's like you could do that.
What do you mean I could do that?
Do you know how you do that? You say,
Go on.
"Oh, you want to make an album? Okay, I'll give you all the money to make it. I just have to be in the room with you." That's literally how you do that. You have to be like the money guy.
I don't want to spend money either, Isaac.
Well, then
It needs to be
you're
served to me on a silver fucking platter. Why would I? Why else would I do anything?
Okay, well then what you do is you. But then the issue with that is like, say you like
No, say you.
create a like some kind of think tank or school or like those sort of what you call it like app, like you know in like Silicon Valley they'd have these like houses people just go live there and like kind of work on
I
their
guess.
apps. It's like a brainstorming I can't remember what it's called. It's some sort of like trust or something.
Brain drain.
Some sort of hub of creativity. So say you make a place where people can come and like
Sure.
do creative stuff, but then it's like you'll be that weird annoying
But-
guy. It's like, hey,
but
can I
Isaac-
help? And you're like, oh,
but
go
Isaac-
away, weirdo.
Here you are.
You're forgetting that's also effort.
So,
There's gotta be a way around it.
so you want the easy way out. So you're basically
Yes.
like a boring, lazy kind of guy
See,
who
you
just
get
likes
it.
to talk.
Yeah? Have we not established that? Why are you acting like this is some sort of revelation?
Well, it's more that like I thought maybe you'd have like a plan in mind.
Yeah.
Like get what you want, but then it seems like you don't want it really. If you wanted it, you would do something about it.
Isaac, you're just restating exactly the same thing that I just said.
So you don't actually want anything at all.
No, no, obviously not. Like, if I'm not willing to put in the effort, I'm going to say that I actually want it.
Maybe you're too comfortable, probably.
I need to set my ass on fire.
It's like you don't have like a zest for life, basically.
How dare you?
You don't have like this like thing that like kind of you enjoy doing almost.
Huh?
Do you have anything you like enjoy doing?
What's that like? I like talking with you.
That's why you want to be a streamer, so you can just like talk all day to people.
Fuck yeah.
Random shit. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But then the thing, if you like streaming that way, you'd probably put more, you know,
This is all.
Well,
effort
I think it's
into,
like, how dare you?
like in terms of marketing yourself,
Why would I ever?
doing content that will get like clicks and shit.
No. You see, as soon as I have a single person in chat, I tell him to do it.
It's not, so what you basically want to be is you want to be like a fucking OnlyFans girl who gets like loads of simps to just do everything for.
There we go. That's close enough.
Mm. Yeah. So maybe you yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you're fine with it, if you're fine with the kind of
What trinkets like?
sort of neutral existence.
It says that. Dude, your fucking slogan is mad. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you to judge?
It was meh, but now it's like I'm gonna throw myself into millions of shit I'm uncomfortable with and difficult people and conflict and fucking
Yeah, and boy, what an improvement that's been, huh?
yeah.
Now that's the level of certainty I demand from my peers.
It's like I think it's when the good. It's like the peaks and valleys are higher and lower, if that makes sense.
I'll peek your valley in a second.
I
Yeah,
want.
let me take a peek at you.
which one?
Wonder what?
I want to be in more places and situations where I can
One man's
sort of
stone
fuck around
is another
and
man's gem.
like mess with people and be myself.
That is So many simultaneous requirements.
like having arguments with people and like
Ta-da!
just like this is boring. I'm gonna leave. Bye, guys. And they're like, what? I just like the idea of
I'm
being.
also like, what exactly do you mean? Like, I like the ability to just fuck off.
Yeah, like I'm kind of
But you said
I
you
think
like
I'm a lot.
being, you wanted to
I'm
be
a
in
lot
more
more
comfortable
vain.
situations.
I'm a lot more
Okay.
vain and like than I probably wouldn't like be willing to admit.
Okay.
I'm like I want to show off. Like I want to
Oh,
be a center of attention, sort of.
I thought you meant like physically, like
Oh yeah,
just
so,
talk
yeah,
about those
physically
ugly
as well.
teeth.
Yeah, so I'm like both physically like and just sort of like I want
Grow,
attention.
grow, grow. Odds reveal.
And I want to like
I feel like I don't give a shit about how people look. Well,
well, I don't care, but it's
making that sort of assessment is sort of rough because in total, like I would just want to be around people that like make me feel comfortable.
that's the thing.
And
The
how
only
they look
thing
is
about
probably part of that, but I like it doesn't register as
Everyone okay?
yeah,
anything
but
valuable to me.
it's only a valuable consideration to me when it's someone I'm like gonna date. That's the only time I think about it. I
Which is
don't
all
like.
the time.
I'm not like, oh, I'm working with this person. I'm going to quit my job because this person's got like wonky ears. Like, I'm not going to fucking do that.
Skull
You know what I mean?
Giga-chan.
is another man's gem.
And it's just like it's my opinion of what I think is good looking as well. So it's like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really.
Yeah, but how to
But
put
I only
this,
think
like,
about it in terms of people I'm going to date.
like,
But then
get
you're like,
somebody.
you're saying Jordan Peterson's wife is a goblin. So it's like,
I'd smash.
that's not very nice. That's not very nice. But yeah, still,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, like I say horrible shit, but that doesn't actually mean that I value it. The only reason it's like I even register it as horrible is because I know that unfortunately a lot of people put a lot of weight on that, and I think that's like genuinely sad.
Yeah, but then haven't you watched all the videos that like
Hmm?
women's value comes from their beauty.
To memory. Odds
And
reveal.
like doing the cooking and cleaning in the house.
It's like, and your point is that therefore my opinion has to be the same. Like, I
I was
don't
just saying,
really understand the question.
no, I was saying you're
Yes,
saying
I've
like
seen that.
yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, I'm just joking. Like saying that like you don't understand why people value it so much.
No.
And like me neither. It's like I'm
But it's like,
listening to them. It's
how to
like
put this, like even if they're ugly or like almost horrifying abominations, like you get them in a room like eternal lights up and you're gonna have sex. Like, wouldn't most things just feel the same anyway? Like, why would it matter?
it wouldn't matter because in your head you're still seeing their face in your mind in the dark, and you know that they're an ugly person.
Especially from behind, like when no.
Well,
Like that's
you
what I
can
mean.
paper
Like,
bag them. But then,
like that's what I mean. Like it feels like people are pressured. Like I swear to God, like socially pressured into thinking like this.
no.
What do you mean, no?
Was in like it's not like I find people ugly because I think there's a social degree of like what's good and what's beautiful and what isn't.
I think obviously I'm implying that this shit is subconscious. I'm not expecting a person to reply. Like when I ask them, "Hey, why do you think this way?" I don't think they're going to reply, "Well, you know, the social pressures are really getting to me, so I'm kind of forced to think this way." Obviously, I'm not expecting that sort of detailed answer.
No, but it's like for me, this thinking is always just like, can I stand looking at them? Yes or no?
Sure.
But then there's a degree to which it's like there's like degrees of attractiveness, and I'll like sleep with people I'll like have sex with people that I won't date
Everyone okay? By royal decree.
because it's like they're not
You're
good
walking in
looking
token
enough.
stereotype. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like they're not good looking enough for me to consider like dating them or like marrying them or trying to like date them. But then I'll still sleep with them.
Typical man.
Yeah, but then it's like I'm upfront about it.
But okay, that's almost like inverse prioritization. So like they have to be hot to date them, but not hot to have sex with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the sex you can like, well, like the degree you can enjoy the sex is like there's like a scale. It's like masturbation is like the lowest, and then like sex as like an act, an activity, is like enjoyable. It's like pizza. Like every pizza is good, right? But then it's like
Sure.
sex with someone who's like okay to look at. It's still good, but it's like it's the like it's funny. It's like it's the same term they use in all these fucking shows like Fresh and Fit. It's like recreational use only.
This may hurt a little.
I can't believe you're gone full red pill.
But then it's like the women are doing the same. It's like when I talk to them, it's like they only want something casual. They don't. They just want friends. They want to sleep together. They don't want anything else. Like it's the same thing. Like they. So it's not like I kind of pull people along as if we're like gonna date and then I sleep with them and then disappear. It's like if it's like people that I will sleep with that I don't want to date. It's like I say that. Like it's from the beginning. It's like that's how it is. I don't like string anybody along.
Okay.
But then now I'm not really into that anymore.
I was like, can you not imagine any situation where every other aspect like compensates?
Curiosity deserves a
No.
reward.
Because I've had the same. I've had a thing with like a few people where it's like,
I really like it, but man, you're ugly to look at.
it's like if it's like their personality and things and like they're easy to talk to and it's like nice to be around and things, but it's like I don't feel any like sexual desire for them. It's like I don't
Yeah.
want to be. It's like I don't feel attracted to them. I'm not like excited looking at them.
Okay.
So it kind of, yeah. But then it's weird. There's like other people where it's like,
It's like I just can't imagine if I like have somebody with like a personality that's like 10 out of 10. Like they got all their fucking shit together, just make me feel good. I love being around them. I never want to leave their side. I'm like a fucking parasite at this point. I was like, you know what, you're too ugly. Fuck off. I just
well, I think
just can't imagine.
that's, because I think
Like,
a
like
lot
my
of it's
life
like,
is markedly better when they're around. It's like, no,
yeah.
sorry.
But then it's kind of, yeah, you could have that, but there's an
It's
aspect
like I'm not
of
saying
like,
that it's likely. It's just like this is like what my goal is.
it's
Like this is
getting
what
to
I
that
would
point.
be aiming for.
Yeah, but it's like
And,
that, like a part of that is like like having the relationship with them, and part of the relationship is the like physical intimacy and sex and like attraction and stuff. So imagine it's like you're with someone and everything's 10 out of
can't.
10, right? And then they find out that like you think they're ugly. It's like no one
If they're 10 out of 10, that wouldn't even register.
like 10 out of 10
Because that's the
personality.
catch.
It's like 10 out of 10 personality or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, but then it's to get. I think to get to a point where that is like possible
It's like,
with someone
okay,
you're
like,
like dating.
If they were a 10 out of 10 personality, me not thinking that they're attractive, but I still want to be around them, like that wouldn't register. Like clearly I want to be around them. Like I'm not, if they're a 10 out of 10 personality, then they'd understand that I wouldn't like necessarily like every aspect of them, but the decision to stay with them and be around them, like that's the thing that actually matters. And they're not going to be a 10 out of 10 if that's not how they think.
Yeah, but then it's if it's like if they can tell from you that like you don't show any like physical interest in them.
But like I don't think that would translate like that.
Well,
Like
it would because
they would have to like be covered in fucking scales, I think, before it would be like, you know what, sex is like too fucking difficult.
yeah, but then it's like if the sex is like you do it because they want to, or it's like you do it because you feel like you should, or it's like you do it because it's better than nothing. It's like there's a difference between like it's like people want to feel physically desired, and so
Okay.
it's like
Here's the catch. They wouldn't if they have a 10 out of 10%.
oh, for you. So you want someone who's like asexual?
Committed to
No.
memory.
Okay.
It's like, it's just that I have a hierarchy of interests, and this is like so far
Stabilize.
down that it doesn't really.
Yeah, but then it becomes it affects your decision. It's like if someone you're with is like you're not physically attracted to them, right? They're not your type, right? Physically, but you love their personality so much, and then like you're gonna be in a relationship with them, and maybe like it's like a sexual, it's like a romantic relationship, right? But like you have any kind of like sexual desire for them at all, right?
Yes.
Like physically, right? It's like that, like in my
Like,
mind, or like from my experience, it's like
unsustainable.
yeah, because it's like
Sure.
you choosing, like I'm
No,
not
no,
gonna
I
make a
absolutely
move.
agree
I'm
that
not
it's
gonna,
like it's like completely improbable, I guess. That's not how most
Yeah.
people function. Yeah.
because it's the same thing with the Russian I was seeing. It's like
But Isaac, like that's also why I basically don't date. Like, I know that there's like such a discrepancy between like my priorities and how much I would
Boats
have
are
to
made
like
for
get the other person to
transferring
adjust their way
commodities
of
back and forth.
thinking.
And those that come
For
across
things to be
field
like
tend to stay a while.
perfect, and I'm just like,
So it is when
fucking,
many things
why
come
even
to
put in
settle.
the effort?
but then do you feel like you would ever compromise for someone else?
Sure. I compromise with people all the time. I don't know what you mean.
But like
People talk about compromise as if it's a dirty word. I find this shit sort of funny.
no, but it's like it's like you choose not to date because you're just like assuming you'll never find someone who matches
It's
you.
like, I know that it's a shitload of work, and I know to get everything that I want out of it, like, would require a lot of effort, and like, I could always settle for less, but unless I get a certain amount, I'm not even sure I
You know, it's like
give a
it
shit
gets
to put in the
easier.
effort.
It gets easier the more you do it.
I don't know what you mean.
So
I
as
don't
in,
I
like-
don't see how that has anything to do with what I'm saying.
So you say it's like the effort to like find somebody, right? It's like you like the effort to find someone.
Mhm.
It's more of like the skill of or like being able to like act on your desire when you have an opportunity. So like
Heh?
say you like meet a person randomly and they're like you seem like they could be someone you could potentially like date, right?
Okay.
Like your ability to feel comfortable enough to like ask them out and like be able to flirt with them and like get to a point where you can ask them out is like a
I don't think
skill.
we're on. I don't think we're on the same page on what the effort that's required from me actually is.
What is the effort?
The sheer amount of man hours in order to scout out and just try to talk to people in order to like try and find a connection. Like talking to somebody and just like having a conversation. That's not like the hard part. I can basically like speed run that shit, but I know that statistically I would have to sit through like so many hours, and I feel like I'm better off figuring out if there's like a fucking algorithm for me to increase my odds of finding somebody who would meet
That's
all the
what-
requirements that I want. Or again, like I could like settle for the fact that this is like finding like a perfect someone is so unlikely. At which point I'm in no rush, like it'll happen anyway. Like I don't even see the point of putting in the effort at that point.
But
At
then
that point
it's
there's like an eventuality.
yeah, but it's like do you believe like say someone would you be in a place like right now where like say you randomly bumped into someone or like you went you've
Don't
met
understand
someone
the
who's
question.
like, I hadn't finished the question yet. So,
No, okay.
like, say you're like out with some friends somewhere, right? And then
Mhm.
they bring a friend, and then that person you kind of, get along with, and they could be this person that I want to, date, whatever. Like,
Mhm.
do you think right now you would be able to ask them out? Like, would you be able to like
Yeah.
have a conversation, like be able to, like put yourself forward and like ask them out? Like that kind of, because that's difficult for a lot of people. It's like actually like getting to a point where they can sort of ask people out. Because what I'm trying to say is like, say you're like, oh, if it happens, it happens. But then say it's like there's someone there, but you don't have the
Yes.
experience or knowledge or skill or whatever to actually like act on your motivation. Then you'll never get it, because it's like you don't have the capability of connecting with that right person, or like asking that person out, even if you do meet them, they like fall into your life.
I might not be able to recognize what I'm looking for because of lack of experience.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like you're saying, like, if it's good, like it will happen eventually, like,
But
what I mean, like, but it's like you have to do it when it comes.
Like, I don't feel like I'm at that point where if I saw somebody and I believed I had a future with them, and this is the one. I don't think the concern is that I wouldn't be able to ask them out. I think the concern is that I wouldn't be able to recognize it.
But then that's another thing. It's like I can, when I'm like, when I go to these like parties and like, friends of friends hang out and go to these social stuff. It's like
Mhm.
you're better. You get this ability to like, see if like understand people, like fit, like gain that like radar. Like, okay, this is someone, like notice it, right? Because it's like if you go through all the kind of bad shitty dating and like all the experiences and blah blah blah, it's like you fine tune things and like figure things out. Like, I don't like this, I want this. This is what I'm like with other people. So like you're getting the information of what you're like around other people and what you are happy doing and what you're not happy doing. And so you're able to recognize what a good person for you would be from like the bad experiences. Because it's like if you've never had any good or bad dating experiences, you don't. How would you even know if this person is a 10 out of 10?
Sure, I understand the point.
Order guide you.
Yeah, but it says like, do you think you have that skill to even like capability to do that?
Hell yeah, I'm fucking amazing.
That's it. I'm bringing it because it's almost like you're saying like, if it appears or like it will happen when it happens, but then it's like the only way it happens is you pretty much, like as a guy as well. And like if you're going to date a woman, it's
I
like
need a certain amount of participation and activity in order to
well, like you
gain
usually have to
skills
make the
or...
first move. You have to be the one to initiate things. So like
Sure.
saying it will happen to me is like counterproductive, because it's like you have to make it happen. So the right person
I'm
might
saying I'm
come
willing
to
to put in
you.
the effort.
Okay, well, fuck you. I can teach you.
Teach me what? The art of lovemaking?
The art of picking
Love finding?
ladies. I don't know.
The art of ladies? Is that what you said?
The art of
Into the wind. Fallen leaves.
somewhat like recognizing potential partners. And
I don't know either. The art of recognizing potential partners sounds like a real shitty book.
it's like an AI wrote.
Yes.
Like written by a committee.
Oh, I'd buy it. It's like it just rolls off the tongue, you know.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
I forgot.
Could you
The
even
art of
remember?
finding potential partners. Recognizing.
Yes. Oh, okay. The art of recognizing potential partners. Why is that so funny to me?
Like, but you can have things where it's like, imagine like, say like a friend of a friend, you're at a party or something, or like out somewhere. It's like, how do you know if this person's single or not? Like, how do you know if this person, how old they are? How do you know if this person
What do you mean? Why would I
wants?
need to know whether or not they're single, or just go over there and ask them?
I don't know, but it's like,
It seems pretty basic. Are you sure you're the author of
yeah. Then
How to Find?
you just walking up to someone and being like, "Are you single?" is
Yeah.
like, then it might turn them. They'll be like, "Oh, get away from me, you fucking
Sure.
creep."
Of course
So
they
it's like, there's ways you can do it, you know.
But
This is
Isaac,
order.
I was like, you fail to realize that
One
not
with nature.
every woman is going to be a hit anyway. And if they're the type to think, "Ooh, get away from me," if I just ask them if they're single, then they're clearly the type of person I'm interested in. I don't see why you'd think that would be a loss to me.
Yeah, but then it's not that straightforward because it's like, some people are,
Yes.
Wind strategy.
they're like in certain places or scenarios or like in certain areas, like they're at a shop or they're always on the defensive because of just, so it's like they just have an instant response, or like
Yeah,
they
but
have this like,
there's one thing I learned from Andrew Tate. You just get rejected and you move on.
it's true.
It's like, why is this a problem? Like, fuck it. I just told you that I would, like, the hard part would have to, like, churn through all the women in order to, like, find, like, all the potential characteristics that I would want in a single person, which is statistically so fucking unlikely that I would have to, like, go through maybe thousands of people. So, like, if I can deal with a single rejection, how the fuck would I get through all that shit?
Yeah, but then it's, do you think you're capable of presenting yourself well?
No.
No. Because that would be the alternative. Is you just put like a fucking thing like, "This is me. If you like it, come, send me a message."
Exactly.
So it's like, but then it's like, if you don't really have that.
Too much is about marketing these days. Yeah, that includes dating.
Yeah. But dating's always been a bit about, it's like marking, but it was a different way. It was more just kind of like in person, door to door marketing.
Ah, yes.
Not like, this is my profile. This
Odds
is
reveal.
who I am.
Okay, did you say door to door? Wait.
Yeah. It's like marking. It's like door to door. You're door to door.
I don't know why the fuck it took me that long to register. Like, I was just like going back over what you said. It's like, wait, door to.
Like marketing, sales. Instead of being like massive ad campaigns and like profile and posters.
Yeah, but for some reason, like
in the old days, it's like more
what I
door to
thought
door.
was like bar to bar or some shit. Like you had to do.
That
like,
is
you had
kind
to
of what I
market
meant.
something.
Like, in
I
person,
apparently-
face to face.
Yeah, sure. It's just like, it's interesting that I managed to fucking autocomplete that.
As one with wind and cloud.
What do you think about your brother's girlfriends? What do you think about love and dating and like matchmaking in general when you look at other people? Do you feel like people like meet their perfect matches or whatever? Like, how do you?
I don't know, because it's like my older brother met his wife fucking
As
Jesus,
you do.
like 10 years ago. More than that, probably 12 or something. And like met her at uni, and then they've just been together since then. Right? And they seem like they seem like a good. I don't really see them that much, and it's like whenever I see them, usually we're like doing things or whatever. So they kind of, I don't see what they're like on their own together. You know what I mean? And it's like,
oh yeah, right.
so they're usually like, we're doing something, or they argue, or they're just talking about shit, or like trying to solve well, no, we got to go and do this for the house, or what. So it's like kind of.
Do they seem
They're-
performative?
No, it's like, but it seems very. It's like, it's always like practical that they're doing stuff. It's like it doesn't really seem like.
Yes.
It doesn't seem so much that they're like super affectionate.
Yeah.
But it's the
I think
same
the
with
same
like,
thing.
and like my younger brother, or two younger brothers. Like one of them dating
Solidify.
is like engaged, and they're like very like jokey with each other. So they don't really.
No rest for the.
They kind of the humor kind of solves a lot of the like
Wait,
disagreements.
who is
about
jokey with each other?
My youngest brother, his fiance,
Okay.
and him. Brother number 4,
God.
the youngest.
How big is your family? Is it just
I
brothers?
have 3 brothers, yeah. And then my other younger one is like brother number 3. He was
Sorry,
with-
like, it's just
he was
funny
with
imagining this because I know, like, fucking boys seem so chaotic.
Yeah, but then we kind of it wasn't so chaotic because it was like we just play video games, so there wasn't much like disappear off into the streets and just like start fights and like disappear and like get into trouble, blah blah blah. Because it was always like
And I'm supposed to believe that.
computers. Yeah. But like my brother number 3.
Says the man who fucking loves getting into mosh pits.
Yeah, but that's now, not when I was a kid. He was with someone for like 7 years and they broke up.
Could you
they
imagine
seem-
being at a mosh pit and somebody's just like, could somebody come get the kid?
Yeah, it's fucking up. Anyway.
This is a fucking, like, blood splatter on the floor. You can't even see the kid.
Stabilize.
Well, some women there are like really tiny, so it's not like, you know.
Are they at the mosh pit?
Just yeah, like when I was there, the one time I've done it, it's like there's just like normal,
Interesting.
like skinny, like rock groupie chicks, and they're just like, I don't know, they're kind of like floating around.
They're getting a fucking Tekken juggle
'Cause it's like
combo.
the guys don't shove them. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like the guys shove each other. They don't.
I can't believe you didn't react to the fucking visual of a Tekken juggle combo. Like a woman just like keep getting like shoryuken up into the air.
It's like
so fucking-
they're always like there's a buffer between like they get sort of knocked about, but only like from someone who's just been knocked by someone else. They never get like the full like shove or like
the full
hit.
brunt.
Yeah, they're always like they get this like aftershock. You know what I mean? Well, I was saying to brother number 3, he was with someone for like 7 years. They broke up, and they seemed like good together. But then, because when I would see them, is also when I would see like my parents and stuff. So it was always like I would see them when we're in this like family gathering setting, right? So it's like loads of people all together, and it's not like you're not gonna be like a couple. You're like on your behavior and just sort of chill out, right? It's not like you're seeing them as a couple. They're just like other people in the room.
What, are you expecting things to get raunchy?
No, but like you were saying about like what they're like with each other, but there's not like if they were going to argue about something, they just
They
don't do it
wouldn't,
because they're
yeah.
like a social gathering. So
Yeah.
it's I've seen like my older brother, kind of argue with his girlfriend a lot, but I think they're both very like
It's been sort of
stubborn.
funny for me seeing, like being around some couples and they're like more jokey with the people around them than each other, and that just makes
Yeah.
me like stroke my chin. Just.
Yeah, because I feel like
I
that's
don't know how much to read into this. Is like, is the spark still there?
But I think what you're saying is more like it's like what can they talk about? Because if you're with someone all the time, it's like
Yeah.
there's not much new, and especially if you're in a social gathering, it's like you're with so you go with someone, you're like a couple. It's like you've been with them all the time. You've had conversations with this person loads. It's like you know everything about them.
But Isaac, that's what I mean. Like, Sure, there's that, but then there's you and me, and our love life is great. You'd think after all these years the spark would be gone, but here we are.
Because we just talk about, we're like, this is kind of, we're like,
Foreplay.
no, it's like,
I like the fact that you
Yeah.
wouldn't accept that.
what's it? We're kind of
Yes. With some words.
sort of,
Odds
Go on.
reveal dice.
You can do it.
Here you are.
I don't know, it's not like a debate. It's just like we're just sort of having a discussion on, like we can have discussions on topics. It's like we don't even when we talk about personal things, it usually comes back. It will revolve back to like some sort of philosophical aspect or like why you did it and da, da, da. So like it doesn't really.
Grow, grow, grow. By
But,
royal
so like when we're playing games, sometimes there's like I said when we're playing Valheim, it's like it's different to when we're just talking like this because it's like where should we go and do this? And the boss is here and it's like so that's
You got
kind
a goal
of.
in mind?
But like that's kind of what I think like couples are like, where it's like
They go on adventures and have goals
It's
in
like-
life that they try to
like
achieve together.
yeah, but it's like their interactions become more about like what they're both like doing together rather than just like endlessly talking to each other. So it's like because you have
why?
like shared goals, a lot of the discussion, like talking and interactions, are about like trying to like solve things together or get things together or do. It's not so much just like the conversations where you're trying to like get more information, like catch up and see how the person's doing and like learn about what they. Because if you go to a party, all these people you don't know them or like you haven't spoken to them for ages or whatever. So the topic you're like learn. It's like you're talking and like learning, getting more new information, like interesting stuff. But like if you're going to talk to your partner, you already know everything. So it's like the interesting aspect of the discussion isn't there. It's like it's not kind of. Or usually people choose not to do it because they're like catching up with other people, right? It's like the social, because you're in a social gathering, you don't have the opportunity to see all these people all the time. So like you have your partner and you see them all the time. So you can just basically not speak to them all night. And it's
Yeah.
perfectly fine because it's like
Unsolicited.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
it
go
makes
home
more sense
and
to
go
catch
with
up with the people that you really have the
Yeah.
opportunity to share.
And so like the jokiness, I think, if couples being more jokey, it's like I feel like it's like you do that when that's like the most interesting conversation, or it's like that's a sort of comfort thing. Like when my brother, youngest brother, and like him and his fiance like joking around, or like the kind of way they talk around each other, it's like it's almost they're doing it in a place where it's like they're having sort of little, like teasing each other a bit, but like it's a social setting. So if they were at home, they might not be as jokey with each other because it's like
Perhaps.
because they don't have it's not they're not performing, right? It's like they're not like using humor as like a buffer between like
Awkward
having
situations,
discussions. Yeah, sort of thing. Especially like social situations
makes
like
me
family
curious,
gatherings,
like-
and you don't want to be there. It's like,
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if some people have more of a tendency of using humor defensively as opposed to like an actual, I don't know, way to pass the time, something they enjoy doing.
yeah, it's like, and also you get people like you have things where people are like, because humor can be a bit difficult if it's like, because usually you want to know someone's sense of humor. You don't want to just start like, so like you might slowly build
Yeah.
up your sort of how funny you are around people. Like you kind of
You gotta
don't,
set
like,
the mood.
You don't start with like Hitler jokes, right? You kind of
No,
build
you
up
start
to
with
it.
dead baby jokes.
Yeah, so it's like you kind of make sort
Those
of witty
slap.
remarks, right? And then you sort of test the waters. But then it's like it's a bit more difficult because there's a lot of people that do this thing where they're like people pleasers. So they're in social situations. The way they kind of can do it is that they
Solidify.
sort of are always like helping everybody, facilitating things, doing anything that needs help. Like
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You
So
go-
they don't really get anything out of it because like it's effort that they have to put in, and they'd rather just not. This is one thing that I
it's like
wonder if.
it's like they don't know what to do socially, or it's like it's easier for them to like follow instructions and like feel like they're fitting into the social environment by being useful, rather than like having to rely on their like
I mean, that
personality
sort
or
of
humor.
is like my experience with a lot of social situations where
This is it.
like it's not that I don't like being funny, but I
Certainly
don't like
worth the extra
the
mile.
pressure and stress of feeling like I have to perform constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's an experience you share. That sounds like what the yes is supposed to mean.
Yeah. Well, like. It's like when I go to these like events and stuff, there's not much time to like talk to people to like build up a kind of rapport where you can be like more funny and like have a sense of humor and stuff.
Sure.
So you don't really get to know anyone to be comfortable like joking around and things. And then it's not like you can be helpful. There's nothing to be helpful. You're not like running the event. There's nothing to do there. And so
Help.
like it's not like you go to a family gathering. Oh, help me cook and help me tidy up and help me set the table. Like,
Oh yeah, I always do
you're
that.
just
but-
you're just like at a party. You just like chat and drink and dance on it. So
This is order.
I don't know if I feel like I have to perform. Maybe in the past I felt more like that, but like
But
it's like I want more like social interactions or friends or like discussions where it's like more like this, where it's just like talking about interesting things. But then most people can't do that or aren't interesting or don't have any.
can't do that physically. Capable.
Yeah, they just whatever. They're just dumb or something. Or they're not interested in anything.
That was way more judgmental than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just
That's
pretty
what I mean.
stupid.
It's become like this where it's like
Process of elimination.
I used to just try and be funny to like sort of enjoy the social interaction. It's like something to do, or that's what I do, right? But then because now it's like
Certainly
I'm
worth
fine
the
being
extra
that, but then
mile.
it's like I want to have nice conversations and like interesting conversations. It's like my dissatisfaction of the conversations. I make it more apparent. Like I'm less funny because I'm like less enjoying the social interactions because I'm not as fine now with just kind of
Yeah, I noticed that with you. You really let me
Beef.
carry the entire conversation.
yeah. Exactly. Well,
No, do you think you actually ended up applying that to me?
No, I think it's more.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Yeah, like, I don't actually want it to sound accusatory, but I'm curious if you
Everything.
think that it might translate.
My knowledge.
No, I think I don't have to. I don't have to bother trying to be funny because you just laugh at your own jokes and you laugh at just things I say and whatever. So it's like I
Yeah,
don't
but
need
you're
to.
supposed to give me material.
I don't.
That's
Well, you
what
just
I
seem to
have.
get material from anything, and you always have a comment on anything I say. So it's like I don't need
Well,
to.
okay.
I don't need to be funny because it's like you'll just
Extract funny from it anyway.
yeah, or you're like
One man's
your
stroke
mind will create
is
something
another
funny anyway,
man's
or
gem.
like I'll just say something and you'll just find that funny, right? So
I mean, sometimes you just honestly like I like having the dynamic with some people. How do I put this? Like, I have this dynamic with some people where they don't necessarily say something funny. They just make it like a somewhat dry
Where do you want to
observation,
go
but it's like
next?
unusual enough that I can
If
play
you'd
off of
like
it,
to see
and that just
Leroy's
makes it fun for me.
tourist spots,
Yeah, but that's why
I
I
have
like
a
the
few
unusual.
references.
But then, because it's like I don't laugh very often, so it's a bit awkward where it feels like you laugh all the time, and I like never laugh, and so it's like it's almost like not
I
awkward.
compensate.
Yeah, but it's almost like
I'm sorry for making things so awkward, Isaac.
like
But yet you keep coming back for more. It's like you're a
Yeah.
glutton for punishment, apparently.
it's like the conversations are interesting, and like I can feel I can just say anything, so which is fine, which is good. So it's like that aspect of like if I wanted to say something funny, I'll say it. If I want to, interesting or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
I don't. There's no restrictions. I don't
you're
feel
right, Isaac. Your level of comfort is extremely awkward.
like I don't feel like I have to perform at all. Like I don't have to be anything.
I'm confused
just-
about what the awkward part's supposed to be now. The fact that I laugh and you don't sometimes. You're not obligated
Well,
to
no,
laugh.
as in like it's like I basically never laugh.
I
Like in
think you
comparison to you, where
overestimate
you like laugh every 30 seconds.
that.
But then that's just your personality.
You're picking fights you can't win, mister. No matter
No,
what
but
you
as in it's like you were saying.
I'm a humor connoisseur, okay? You just don't have the palate for what I laugh at, okay? You're underdeveloped. You just don't get it.
Because you were saying like, oh, do you think that I try to not be as funny anymore?
Yeah, actively. Fuck it.
Or like-
That'd be such a funny way to just like ruin all your relationships. People's like, fuck it. I'm actively gonna not try.
It's more like
Stabilize.
I don't.
Dude, could you imagine like what your social circles would look like? It's like, is that okay? It feels like it's just me, or like, did you turn into an asshole over the course of a single day? I was like, yeah. I did. It's like, how the fuck do you respond?
Yeah, it's kind of like, or it's like to be funny, or it's like you need to have like a back and forth, right? So it's like
Yeah, I know I'm pretty funny by myself.
you can tell by how much I laugh. Yeah.
I didn't. Like I said, Isaac, you don't have the sophistication required
Well, then,
to laugh at my jokes.
if you
It's
had the
fine.
data-
Listen, it's fine. Humor isn't for everyone, okay?
Yeah, but then if you have the data of like how many times I've made
if you
you
want to
laugh.
be a dry, boring cunt, it's fine, Isaac.
No, but it's like if you looked at it, it's like how much have I made you laugh? How much have you made me laugh?
No,
that
how
example,
many
it would
times
be
have you given me
funny.
material that I then use to make myself laugh? That's the correct dynamic too.
Yeah, but even
This
then, it's like,
context.
but even me making you laugh is more than you make me laugh. So it's like you're not.
Oh, I think so.
Boats are made for transferring
comedian.
commodities back and forth.
Ah,
It's
And
purely
those that come
laughs.
across
Like
Leo
you need to
tend
laugh,
stay a while.
cause a laugh to be,
So it is where
funny.
many things come to settle.
thanks for explaining comedy to me.
Um,
Our lives are now richer than ever. Thank you.
yeah, but then it's like
What, you want
my
to start some shit?
a lot of the way I like to be funny is like I like to tease people and like shit on people, but like in a certain way, and it's like it kind of
Yes.
it doesn't really like
Odds reveal
work
thyself.
on you. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like there's no like I don't need to make you laugh.
It's
Like, there's no-
Wait, I'm kind of confused. If you think that shitting on me relentlessly isn't working, why do you keep doing it?
No, but it's just, but it just like I don't do it in a way where I'm trying to be funny. It's more of just like it's like social
like,
lubricant.
it's like you're doing it. It's like, well, I gotta fill in the fucking dead air, I guess.
It's like yeah, it's like if I'm gonna say like I'm like using you to practice for making other people laugh, right?
Thanks.
It's like if you say, oh, well, you free later, and then if I say, yeah, all right, but then I could say like, who's asking. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of,
Yeah, I remember that comedy gold.
or it's this thing of like,
I fucking love the fact that you give me shit like you're not a comedian, you can't do comedy, and they fucking pull this shit.
but then it's more of the,
Oh fuck! Wait.
it's like,
Yeah.
like you choosing what to say. It's like saying things in a way where it's like you almost like have to think to like understand what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like if you're like it's not just I'm not just being like yes, no. It's like it's like me choosing to say things in a more complicated way is like interesting for me.
Sure.
And like fine. So then it's like if someone who can understand that and like back and forth it, then it's like
No, like I've done that shit too. It's just like I think you're sticking too much to a recipe. I don't know why the fuck we're like deciphering comedy at this point, but fuck it, I'm down.
it's
Like
okay.
because I've sort of done the same shit as you did, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna say some off the wall kind of offensive shit in order to surprise people. But like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but sometimes genuine niceness is like the most surprising thing in the context, and I just tried doing that shit, and that it's like it's just as effective. It's really fucking funny, like how somebody says like, "Man, I'm having a really terrible time." It's like, you know what? Come on in, have some tea, and tell me all about it. It's like, okay, grandma, I guess.
Yeah. But then I don't really like kind of
Isaac, surprise is like
yeah.
the most essential thing. Like, if I see all this shit coming, how am I supposed to laugh?
There's nothing nice for me to say about you there. That's the issue.
Again, it's like, you see, this shit, it's like, it's predictable, but like, now I laugh because I fucking, like, I knew exactly, I knew that you were going to say, like,
No,
something
but it's like, I'm
almost
trying to
exactly
think.
like
It's
that.
like what
I'm genuinely really trying to think, like, what could I
Yeah.
possibly say that's nice to you?
like because usually it's like say it's like someone does something, you know, oh, that was nice, or it's like this thing is nice, or like this drawing you did, or this da da da, or like it kind of it's like you're like either you're like offering something is nice, so I could offer you something, and then like
Unsolicited.
talk about that or do
And
this
all
or
the more
help you with this or
valuable
whatever,
for it.
or it's
It's
like
like-
complimenting something or
My fucking god, Isaac. I like how you're basically phrasing it as, I don't know, you haven't earned my niceness. That's basically what you're saying.
Well-
You've done nothing to justify me being nice to you.
but then usually being like
It's
like-
how are you
Where
making
do
it
you
this
want to go
complicated?
next?
Are you genuinely telling
If
me
you'd
that
like to
this
see
is like
Leo
saying
explore
something like
spots,
is this hard for you? Like
I have a
there's
few references.
there's so much required for me to be able to be nice to someone. That's basically what you're saying.
yeah, but then being it doesn't feel genuine because it's like
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't even have to be genuine. Like, it's
but then it's like I don't want to say it though because it's
Oh,
like
okay.
nothing comes to my mind. It's like nothing. It's like
and what does that say about you, Isaac?
then it's kind of
Yes.
it doesn't really like what's the
Any
point?
dinner? You have a good point. What is the point of being nice?
But it's like for me, like joking around with someone is being nice.
Sure.
So it's like being nice to someone is boring. It's like I don't enjoy people saying nice things to me because it's like I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to do with that. It's like there's nothing to like
good.
rebound or like keep the conversation going. It's like it'll just
Good,
be like a
Isaac,
thing and then the next.
How are you not married already? You're pure husband material.
Yeah, but it's like I could say it. like it doesn't feel genuine to say it to like, because it seems like kind of just like a random nice comment out of nowhere. Kind of seems like it's sort of,
Boats are made for transferring commodities.
it's almost like it's
back and
forcing the
forth,
other person to
and those
like
that come across Leo tend to
kind
stay
of
a while. So it is where many things come to 7.
like, I don't know. It's like, say you're just like hanging out with a friend, you're just doing chatting, blah blah blah, and then you suddenly be like,
the same as I remember.
"You look really nice today."
But
Just
there are
like, I don't know.
those
It's
who
like,
share the memory.
what's the next step after that? Just thanks. Then you just go back to the same conversation. It's like, it's like I feel like the niceness is implied by like spending time with them, doing stuff with them, being around them, talking to them. It's like you don't need to constantly be like complimenting, bringing up all this shit all the time. But like if you like were like, hey, look at this game I made, like play it, and then I thought it was a good game, I'd be like, this is really good, I like this. I'd be like,
I remember.
there's something to talk, like say is nice, right? There is like a thing to highlight as nice, but then there's like, what is there to highlight today that's different from like every other day? It's like, it just seems like implied, like the fact that like I keep wanting to talk to you, like implies that it's like I enjoy it.
But do you think the
Or it's like
implication is
good, I
always
like
enough?
want to do it. That's why because it doesn't seem.
Wine tastes the same as I remember.
It
But where are
feels.
those who share the memory?
It's almost like having to say it is like means that you like don't really get each other because you have to say it. It's like you don't understand that like I enjoy hanging out with you, so you feel like you need me to tell you like nice things to like enforce that, or like someone actually like enjoys hanging out with you. You have to like hear them say it. So it's almost like you don't like get that it's happening. You know what I mean? You don't.
As you wish, main
If you need this like validation, like explicitly. That makes sense.
Sometimes saying something surprising. No, saying something nice can be just as surprising as anything else. And you're just
What's
like,
the value of surprise?
no, highly inappropriate. Never say anything nice.
Yeah, but it's like, what's the value? Like, okay, so like you want the surprise, you don't want the niceness.
You'd be surprised at how positively it's received, even though like it almost sounds biting because it seems so sarcastic given the context.
Yeah, because it would always come across sarcastic. Because it's like what's the word? It's
One
like
man's stone is another man's gem.
Not
there's
genuine.
it's not a reaction to something. It's not based on a thing. It's like if tomorrow
I like how you can't like imagine a context where just saying something nice out of the blue could ever be like well received or even well intended.
Yeah, no, I can.
Yeah?
It's just not with you specifically.
Oh, I'm the problem.
Not the problem. It's just more like the dynamic. It seems like we don't like. I feel like we don't have to. I don't have to like.
Wine tastes the same as I remember.
Like there's
But where
like
are
we can say
those
anything
who
and like
share
nothing will
the
change. You know what I mean? It's like we can talk about anything. There's no like. It's like there's no like relationship management. You know what I mean? It's like we're just constant forever.
We are eternal.
In the sense of like.
Then what do you have to lose?
Then what was it like? There's no. Well, it seems like.
Spice up her sex life, Isaac, please.
But then the reason I feel like
Do you really want this for infinity?
no, but as in like, I think we like think the same in a lot of ways,
Sure.
and like we'll just we'll say the same joke at the same time. We'll like think of the same thing. Like
Yeah.
we'll finish it. It's like
Stabilize.
because I feel
Finish
like.
each other's sentences. Why don't we just get married already?
But then I mean, if
Yes.
I feel like a nice comment has to be if it's like I need to know it's genuine. It has to be like related to
Why?
something.
Why does that have to like? What does anything have to be genuine? Like, you like you
Well, you
insult
can say-
people in an ingenuine way. Why is that any different?
Oh yeah, you could say you could be like nice comments sarcastically.
It doesn't even have to be sarcastic. Like sometimes just making it so fucking over the top, where it's like this almost feels sarcastic, but at the same time I don't think it is. But
then,
it's just
like-
it's so fucking overboard that.
But that's just like not my style.
Solidify.
I'm just saying, why not try it?
Oz, reveal thyself.
Spice up her sex life, Isaac. How many times do I have to say it?
I reserve my nice
Judgment.
comments for
Yeah, how are we gonna bullshit your way out of this one?
I have high standards.
What the fuck is that gonna do with anything?
But it's like if someone was like, give me a list of like your good qualities, I could do the list. You know what I mean? But then it's like, I don't like. What's the
My
point?
good
Just,
qualities or any person's good qualities.
yours, like your ones.
Ooh,
So it's like,
that's a very short list though, so that's not very hard.
yeah, exactly. It's just my list. I just copy paste it.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks for the compliment, by the way. You're very good at this.
Yeah, but then it's like, but I feel like that is a compliment. Like being able to not have to like feel like I have to perform or be a certain way or like talk a certain way or act or like have to manage my speech or what I say, what I think. I feel like me feeling that I'm fine doing that is like is like a good thing about you.
You know I can handle you.
Not so much that, it's more like I'm just comfortable saying it to you because I know you won't like judge me for it or like you won't take it as if it's like a fixed like black and white. Like, cause I could say like, oh, I think this, and then like you could say, have you thought about this perception? And I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, now I've completely changed my mind. The opposite side. It's like there's no
Yeah, I tend to have that effect on people. I'm pretty basic that way. Thanks for the compliment, Isaac. See, you are good at this. I
just
just
the
wish
guy
it
with
wasn't so
dreams.
sarcastic.
like.
Isaac, I don't sleep. I can't dream.
Do you think you've infected me with your like sleep problems? Do you think that's what happened? I've become more like
I'm
you.
pretty
so I-
sure those were self-inflicted.
No,
But sure, I'll take the blame. Does that make you feel any better?
You've influenced me, and I've influenced you.
Okay.
So thus, I now fear going to bed.
Happy to hear it's moving in a positive direction. I now fear going to bed.
But I feel like I have to be genuine when I'm nice.
I'm wondering if you'd like develop night terrors if you just kept going in the same trajectory.
Yeah, probably.
No, you have to be nice. Is that what you said?
No, as in I said, like, I feel like the way I can be like, I can say something mean and not genuinely mean it. It's like sarcastic and jokey. I feel like I don't think I can say something nice and not be genuine about it. Unless
Okay.
it's sarcastic. It's like, oh, you're so good at this. And like, as you fall off a fucking cliff in Valheim or something.
Okay,
You want to
like,
go next?
like I
If
do
you'd like
this.
to see Liyue.
I do this shit with my niece sometimes, where like she does something that I think is positive, but then I just go fucking overboard. As like she tells me to stop, but she thinks it's funny, and she does like the compliment. you can have a certain dynamic.
But then it's like I would do that like at the school. Like there's kids
He's
that
like, oh
like
my god, you're so talented. I wish you could be more like you.
Osmanthus
He's like,
wine
thank
tastes the
you, but
same as I
stop.
remember.
but it's like at the school like these kids. It's like
Hmm.
teaching them how to solve a maths thing, and then it's like they do it, and I'm like, yeah, it's
Quick
really
maths.
good. Well done. Like, yeah, you solved it. Like, that's right. You got it right. You're good at that. Like, oh, your drawing's really good and stuff. It's like it never felt really genuine because it's like it doesn't meet my level of like, I'm not impressed.
Artistry.
I'm not. Yeah, it's like I'm not impressed by it. It's like a kid figuring out how to do like 5 times 5. Like for them, like them learning to do it and doing it is a good thing. I can see that it's like they tried and they did it and it's good. But then there's not an additional thing of like I'm impressed by it or I'm excited by it or it's like a new cool thing or it's like beyond my expectations or something. It's like I don't
Does it
find
have
5
to?
times 5 difficult. No, it's just the level at which my nicety seems genuine. It's like I'm telling it, I'm like trying to reinforce.
Yeah, but this is like a meta perspective. Like, you don't have to have a sense of pride or think that compliments has to meet your standards or anything like that. It's like,
I feel like I'm lying.
has this person, like, because when, like, of course, like, when I look at my niece, I just don't go, I don't go like, oh wow, you're such a well-developed human being. It's like, I know you struggled with this before. You've grown as a person. This is a good direction. High five. Like,
Yeah.
that's
So
the context.
things like that. It's like I'm okay. Like say like a kid's like they do a drawing and then the next day they do another drawing and it's a bit better. Like I'm like, yeah, you're improving. Like the improvement's really good, right?
And that's
But,
not
like,
good enough for you to compliment them. Wow.
No, but it's like I
wow.
would say that. I would say that, but it would feel
Ingenuine.
no. It's like it's just a logical thing to say. It doesn't feel like me genuinely like complimenting them or like saying something nice
Yeah.
to make them feel good. It's just like it's like something you do to keep a kid like go, like to progress. It's like a
Keep them
part
happy.
of it's like a part of teaching sort of. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
if I see someone does a painting and it's like fucking great and I love it and I'm like I tell them everything I like about it and like how good it is and how great it is. And then it's like so you have like niceties, right? And then you actually have like genuine compliments and like affectionate words and things. And so it's like, for me, it kind of, it all sort of like, they have to be one or the other. They have to be like niceties that are just sort of, you say it as like curt like manners. And then you have ones where it's like genuine, like proper, you mean it. But like I don't really feel like, or it's like sarcastic. It's like, but then that doesn't really count because it's basically you're just like, oh, you're really good at navigating, and then someone drives off a cliff, right? It's like it's a joke. It's like sarcasm. They're not. It's like it's a fake compliment because I'm just saying they're shit at driving, just in a sarcastic way.
Have you ever hauntingly or like aggressively complimented someone? Because that combination is like really funny. It's like, la-di-da, my name is Isaac, everybody likes me. And I'm
Yeah,
so
kind of,
handsome and
yeah.
all the ladies love me. La-di-da.
It's things like
Well, there you go, you've done it.
yeah, I've done something like that. It's like
I can't believe you lied to me, Isaac. That's the most hurtful thing you could do, and you didn't even
It's-
hesitate on that one. Being nice, though? No, that's where you draw the line. Fucking Jesus, this guy.
yeah. Yeah, but I think it's mostly just from like dating and stuff like that. Not really from friends and
What do you mean from dating? Mhm.
like the kind of niceties where it's like aggressively like complimenting people. It's like cutesy kind of behavior. It's like trying to like it's almost like you're trying to make them uncomfortable by how much you're like complimenting them.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
fun.
you're like showering them with like adoration. It's like I don't know what to do with this. So it's like
Yeah.
that's fun as a way of teasing again, but it's like like what's the point of teasing you? I don't, get anything. I don't give a shit.
This is order.
Like, it feels weird for me to like
Always
shower
happy to
you,
hear that.
like fucking do the same thing
You
with
say
you,
that,
like,
but you haven't even tried.
like doing it with any guy, like any kind of friend or something like that.
It's
It's
funny
like
because you're gay.
it doesn't really feel right, I guess.
I'm sorry, which one of us is the problem in this situation?
And all the more valuable for it.
Well, it's perspective. Isn't it?
Whom does this say something about?
Like, why should I have to feel like I need to be like this or do this stuff?
Shouldn't. It's just interesting which one you choose.
Hmm. I don't feel the same. I feel like when I say things to you, it's like they're right and you have to do them. Like you have to go
Huh?
speed dating now.
Okay. Okay.
You have to fly to London and then come to a fetish party with me and dress in leather.
Did you say a
Time to go to
fetish
work.
party?
Yeah.
Solidify. I will have
Is that the
order.
official term?
It's hard to say. It's just a nightclub and people wear fucking lingerie and sexy shit. It's like, it's nothing really. And then there's not really a description for it.
If I can call
People
me
say
weird.
like kinky parties or like kinky event or.
Ooh.
But they're like boring now to me. Like I only want to go to dance to show off, but then if the music's shit, I can't dance. So what's the point? And you never know the music before you go, so you're like,
I guess I'm Russian roulette.
yeah. But then you know some places they have shit music, so you never go there.
You know they have shit music, huh?
Yeah.
It's just a
But
guarantee.
again, it's like, yeah, well, it's like they're like very genre, like their events are always like like dark techno,
Yeah, talk
and
about
it's
that.
like every time I've been there, it's like shit. You can't dance to it. So
Fly
it's like
veiled within
there's
this
no point going.
desolate plain.
Oh.
Then the other, because again, before I was saying I like to show off, it's like I want to, because I'm like going to the gym every other day, eating like
You're
good
like a
diet
fucking,
and losing
you're
weight
fucking
and
a
stuff.
man-sized peacock.
That's literally I feel like I want to be a peacock. It's like I just want to like lose loads of weight and like have a nice outfit and shit, and then just go there and like people like, wow, you're so different. Ooh. I'm like, yep, that's me, bitch.
Why you like this?
Look, I don't know. Some fucking, I don't know.
This is the shit that you talked about, that you realize you're more vain than you'd want to admit.
Yeah, but I think it's also because I'm so used to like not being noticed, or like I've spent so much time like on my own and like kind of not ignored. It's just I've chosen to like isolate myself. So it's like I'm going like completely the opposite end. I'm like I want to just completely be comfortable just doing anything I want.
Hmm. And are you?
Yeah, but then it has to be,
You want to?
like-
I guess.
it's like I wanna-
Okay. I want to put this out. You want to be comfortable doing anything you want, but complimenting, nah, that's where you draw the line.
yeah, but it's like
Can't be comfortable doing that.
doing what? Say again.
Can't be comfortable giving compliments. What sort of
I
freak would
can,
do
just
that?
not, just only people that deserve them.
Yes, Isaac, we said that earlier.
The people that deserve them are the ones that are potentially going to sleep with me.
Fine, Isaac, I guess I will.
No, but I also want to sleep with them. That's another aspect.
Right, so fine, I'll see.
But it's like I can say, like, say I saw you, like, say you visited again, and then like you look completely like you had, I don't know,
What do you expect?
you sort of different clothes, or like you say you're fucking ripped now, so I don't know if you're lying.
Yeah, there.
But say you like,
Doesn't matter.
no, but say you like
I,
didn't look the same,
uh-huh.
then I would be like, oh, you look better, or you look worse, or I probably would say worse. It's like I'd say you look
I'm so-
different, but yeah.
I'm sorry, like, before you added the or worse part. I just like the implication that any difference would be better compared to how it looked earlier.
All I think of you is the fucking Skype picture, okay? So I don't fucking remember.
Oh, you mean my fucking neon green post-it goblin?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good. Oh,
So that's always my standard. So like whenever like I think like when I saw you in like Norway, because I hadn't seen you for fucking years since uni, I was like forgotten what you look like, and I was like, I just pictured the goblin. I'm like, is that him? Oh yeah, that's him. Because I just forgotten what you look like. It's like
no,
now
you never forgot.
I kind of know what you look like, but like I don't really. But then we have like I have photos of you now, so I can just look at that, right? So it's like
Like on your bed rest.
on my dartboard.
Huh?
No, because like when Dave showed, the holiday ones.
What?
The ones from Norway and shit. Prague,
Oh, yeah.
somewhere on my computer. Or phone.
Stabilize.
Everyone hold hands.
Somewhere in the universe.
But then it was like before then. It was like I didn't have any pictures because it was like we never did anything. Like we just been at uni and that was it. So it's like we didn't have any uni photos.
Who does? Oh, yeah, fucking... I don't... Did people take photos at uni? I don't really
I feel like
think about
normal
it.
people did, but then we just like nerds that kind of didn't really. We just played fucking League of Legends in labs and
Is
just
order.
ate banana
times.
leaves.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Do it, like, and I'm not the type of person. It's like, hey guys, let's get a selfie. It's like, fuck off. And like, I didn't like
No,
being
yeah,
photos
definitely.
anyway, so it's like,
Yeah, me neither.
right. So it's like, why would we force
Yeah,
ourselves
it's
into that
terrible.
situation? We'd need someone to like be there who wants to take the photo.
Wait, no, did it? I
then
used
when
to
we
be
were
like
in,
that. I'm not actually sure I was still like that by the time I got to uni, actually, now that I think about it.
But when we were on, we took photos on the road trip. So
We did
Um,
photos.
like photos of ourselves, like at the top of the mountain and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm glad Dave had the presence of mind to take pictures.
Yeah. Then I was driving, so I was like, how can we take this?
And did we really take pictures while driving though? It was usually
Oh, well,
times
no,
between.
but yeah, I guess Dave was like,
But he took responsibility, so to speak.
Solidify.
yeah. Wonder why this woman isn't texting me. Like, it's very strange. It's like,
Yeah, it's a real mystery. I think what
no,
man.
but it's like,
ooh,
so we were talking just like, oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah, dude, super weird.
but it's not like I said something and then they're like, oh, she didn't like
Yeah,
that.
of course not. Why would you ever? I mean, it's not like a lack of compliments would stop. That doesn't happen.
I
We
actually
already
gave the
established
compliments.
Ah,
in
well,
the, like, chat.
that's why you don't do them. There you go.
So she sent me a picture of her food, like a dinner she made, and I was like, oh, that looks nice and tasty. And then,
Is there feet in the bowl?
no. But then, so like the last messages, it's like,
You see, that's a red flag. If she's not showing her feet, she doesn't look like.
By royal decree.
I don't know why I'm creating this fucking mythos.
it's like we like chatted a lot on Sunday, and then we didn't text yesterday, and then I texted today at like 6 o'clock,
Mhm.
and then nothing. And we're supposed to be meeting tomorrow. So
Well, sometimes people are busy.
yeah, we'll see. And it's like she usually just doesn't reply
We'll
after.
see.
So,
What
well,
is
like
that
if
supposed
like what am I supposed to do? So say it comes to tomorrow, and I'm like, I text her again. So say she doesn't reply at all. We're supposed to meet at like 6 o'clock. So
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Isaac, are you seeing the stream? What the fuck am I looking at? Look at my amazing stream. The fuck is that? It's just a glowing hole with floating rocks.
Is it a background or can you go in there? It looks like you can
That's
go
what
in
I'm
there.
wondering. Like, you think so, but when I
Looks
look at the map, it looks like it's like right on the edge, so we wouldn't be able to go in there, so I'm curious.
Go there. Oh yeah.
I will.
It seems
So
like
I'm
you can go
wondering,
down
is this
there.
future content? Yeah, exactly.
Solidify.
Like, it should be within reach, but why does it look like it's on the very edge of the map?
Is there like fog of war, like on the map itself?
No, like the red line actually means that you can't go there, so I'm just gonna stroll over there and get rejected. Or does it
Go
double
there,
back?
go there, go there, go there. Seems like you're walking there.
Gather.
Yeah, but like the game doesn't really have invisible walls. What it does instead is Paimon tells you that, oh, you can't head in this direction, you silly bitch. So that's what I'm expecting here, and that'll be
But then
very
what happens,
disappointing. Oh, I'm getting close. Oh, I'm getting close. What the fuck is this? Is it actually letting me cross the border? It's blinking red. You motherfucker! God damn it! That dude, this is actually a really good tease. It's like, no, we're not gonna let you go yet, but you know people want to look at this fucking place. This is sus as fuck. This is
Yeah.
Among Us.
But then it's on the map now, isn't it? Like you can see on the mini map.
What the
It's
fuck
like
is
you can
that?
go down there.
I sure can. But like, this is the sort of shit that I like in open world games, where you just like, you have something that's like unique enough to that you can say, I've never seen this before. I wonder what the fuck that is. That's what I wanted from this game after I played Breath of the Wild. Like my favorite experience was just seeing the fucking forest covered in black, where it's like, what the fuck is this? What happens when I go in? And then I go in and it's like, why is everything dark? I'm fucking panicking. It's just
No.
good times. Miss that shit. I need to go pee pee.
Yeah, I need it.
Oh shit, it's actually past midnight for me.
Yeah, might as well stop here.
Yeah. Good night, Isaac.
Bye.
Boy.